Hey love, welcome back to Renewed and Beautiful. If you've been struggling with weight loss, managing PCOS, or navigating health conditions like type 2 diabetes, lupus, Hashimoto's, I totally feel you. Today on today's video, I am going to be sharing about my GLP-1 medication journey, how I've lost 75 pounds, and the pros and cons of this entire journey. So grab your cup of coffee, get your tea, your soda pop, your water, whatever it is, and let's talk about it. Hi guys, if you're new here, my name's Rochelle, but most people call me Ree, and I have Hashimoto's, lupus, PCOS, and diabetes. And I have been struggling with my weight since I was a little girl. Trigger warning, I have overcome 2 different long episodes and battles with eating disorders, and the most recent being in my 20s after, sadly, my battle with cancer and first being diagnosed with Hashimoto's and lupus. It was a really, really long, frustrating journey. In the last 15 years has probably been the hardest when it comes to my weight. I have struggled to lose weight, and when I have, it's always been at a cost, and it feels like then I gain even more back. For the longest time, I could not figure out why my hormones felt like they were all over the place. Why the heck did I have no energy? Like, could it really be that not having my thyroid was affecting this much of my life? Well, finally, in late 2022, I was diagnosed with PCOS, and I really thought to myself, great, another autoimmune disease, another title to slap on my medical chart. And this is after years of really having doctors kind of shut me off or cut me off once they found out that I had overcome an eating disorder. Most people in healthcare, I was even guilty of it. If you don't know, I've been in healthcare for 20 years. Of as soon as you hear certain things, depending on your field, you kind of shut off that portion of your mind and go, oh yeah, well, it's because you're doing this, duh. And you're ready to solve the problem and on to the next thing. And I know that's bad. We all do it. We all make presumptions or assumptions about people. And sadly, that is where I found myself, to where everything was, well, it's because you've had cancer. It's because you've had an eating disorder. It's because you had kids too close together and so young at 20 and 21. Everything that you could throw at me, they had an excuse. And I really felt like I wasn't being heard. And I was just being looked at, well, if you just ate better. When in truth, at the time, I was eating the cleanest and healthiest I had ever eaten in my life. And still I wasn't losing the weight. It was frustrating, to say the least. But finally, in late 2022, after this diagnosis, I really had a doctor and a set of team around me that saw beyond my health history. They were willing to look at me, my circumstances, as a blank slate. Nothing else added, nothing else addition or because of. It was, let's figure out what the issue is. And really, it stemmed down to not just being diabetic like I was being told, but because I had PCOS that was insulin resistance. Excuse me. And I can do another video on that and what all of that's like. But today's video is about this GLP-1 medication. Because honestly, at this point, I was 230 pounds, the heaviest I've ever been in my life, while not being pregnant or having something going on with my body that had me in the hospital. It was frustrating and infuriating and defeating all at the same time. And now, mind you, I was really preaching, you need to have a healthy mind, you need to have a healthy body, you need to have a healthy soul. And I believed it. I just didn't think it was ever possible for my body to be healthy. And I got to a point where I really started limiting God in that thought process. And after this really open, honest, and raw conversation with my medical provider and this diagnosis, I was able to finally get that open, raw, and honest with God and what I had done to my body, what I needed to heal and overcome in the next part of my healing journey, but also where I wanted to go. What did I want to utilize this vessel, this temple for, that I hadn't already done? And was I really making it about myself and being a size XYZ or a weight of blank pounds? Or was I finally getting to the root and being able to say, God, I don't care about those things. I just want to be able to live and live life abundantly for you. So I would challenge you, if you are starting anything of a journey like this, that needs to be your first 2 steps. Really get open, honest, and raw with your medical team, with God, and with yourself. That would be the third. Because this is not an easy way out medication. No matter what the world tells you, it's not just an easy peasy, you're going to instantly lose weight, life's going to be fine, you're going to move on. That's not how this works, okay? You're going to have to put in the work. So let's talk about what Tirzepatide is. And I actually wrote this down on here because it's a little bit easier to say. So I started on semaglutide from February of 2024 through June of 2024. And honestly, all it did was make me incredibly sick, and I only lost 5 pounds. You heard me right, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. My doctor's like, I don't think this is working for you. I really want to try you on Tirzepatide. Tirzepatide is slightly different than semaglutide because, it's a dual acting medication. I'm going to read to you what it is. So Tirzepatide has a GLP-1 and GIP receptors in it. So what is a GLP-1? It's glucagon-like peptide 1. This is what helps regulate blood sugar levels by increasing your insulin secretion after meals. And it also slows down digestion, which helps you feel full longer and helps reduce overeating. Great thing to have. That's what most GLP-1 medications are. Tirzepatide, though, has GIP in it as well, which is glucose-dependent insulin-tropic polypeptides. This boosts the effects of the GLP-1 while helping your body to use stored fat for energy. This dual action is what makes Tirzepatide unique compared to other GLP-1 medications because it has that. What Tirzepatide does essentially is it works with your body's natural processes to regulate your appetite, improve your blood sugar control, and encourage fat loss, especially from that stored up fat. So that way it's using that as energy. But you have to do the work with it. Why do I say that? Because as someone who loves lifting heavy, I had to get to the basics at 230 pounds of just walking. Yes, just walking. Walking is the most underrated and underutilized tool in your tool belt. Get to walking, my friends, and get your speed up, get your posture right, get your core tight, and let me tell you, you're going to start to see improvements like you did not think was possible, okay? But you've got to do the work with the medication, with the eating right, with getting your mind right. It's all in one, my love. That's the part no one's telling you about, okay? Some of the things or benefits I've had with Tirzepatide is I've lost 75 pounds since June of 2024 through it's now January 20th. 75 pounds. I went from 230 pounds. Well, at the time it was 215. I'm finally at 158 pounds. So overall, I've lost 75 pounds in under a year. That is amazing. But not only have I been able to have this significant amount of weight loss, I have the best blood sugar control I've ever had in my life. I am off my diabetes medication. I've seen a huge improvement in reducing the inflammation in my body and finally getting my gut health really under control. Like, your girl cannot typically eat meat. It makes me very sick. I just don't digest it well. With being on Tirzepatide, I've seen my cravings reduce and change. My taste buds have changed. And your girl can finally eat meat proteins and actually digest them, which is not something I've been able to do my entire life. Like, it has not just gone well. Now, granted, I can't eat meat every single day It's not in my cards. But that is okay because I can eat it more often and I actually crave protein. Would have never in my wildest dreams thought I would say that to people, but I do. I crave protein. That is what my body wants first thing in the morning, as to opposed to being a girl that loves donuts, loves croissants, loves breads, loves tortillas. Like, I still love those things, but I don't crave them. They don't take up space in my mind where I feel like I have to have that or else I didn't eat today. My taste buds have completely switched. I am not a huge candy person with the exception of sweet tarts or chewy sprees. Love those. Okay. Love those. I could eat an entire big little bag thing in one of my son's basketball games when he was in high school. It was not good. However, I can barely eat a serving of those. And then my throat is like, ew, gross. We need water because now I'm craving water instead of craving 5 coffees a day. Like, it has been amazing. And now, granted, Tirzepatide is not marketed or researched to be towards people that are battling autoimmune disease like lupus or Hashimoto's. However, the amount of reduction of inflammation that I have had less flare-ups from June to present day than I've had in the last 5 years with my other autoimmune diseases because that inflammation is gone. Like, it's just gone. I honestly did not expect Tirzepatide to work because semaglutide didn't work. Because my doctor said, hey, we're down to these 2 options. We're going to try a GLP-1 medication or we're going to do gastric sleeve and force your body to do a reset. I was just convinced. Okay, well, that's what I'm just going to have to do. I didn't think it was going to work. But having it work has been mind-blowing. Now, there are some cons with any GLP-1 medication, and you need to be aware of them, like side effects of nausea, fatigue. I had extra fatigue on semaglutide, and I was like, bro, I'm already fatigued all the time. Like, this is not working for me. I have not had that with Tirzepatide. That has been the hugest game changer, and that is what I knew during month 1 of that change. Okay, maybe Tirzepatide really is going to be for me because I actually have energy. Like, and I'm not downing 5 coffees and an Alani energy drink on top of a pre-workout. You guys, I can't even take a pre-workout. Like, my body naturally now has enough energy to do the workout without giving me an AFib episode because I have AFib without a pre-workout. Yes, yes, yes. The other cons is that it does really need to be monitored by a healthcare professional. I don't care if you do it online. I get mine through my doctor online. I have virtual appointments with him and with a nutritionist. They answer my questions. I can chat them any time of day and they get back to me really quickly, which I love. But it is a medication. You need to not be doing it on your own. You need your medical team behind you. Okay. Anybody that says you don't, please ignore that. You are gonna need to be sure that you actually follow up with someone. Now, it's also not a cheap option. It is cheaper than what it was when I initially started. However, it's not a cheap option. And if you're gonna pay for this, you better put in the work. Because how much does it stink to feel like you literally threw $300 out the window because you couldn't even go for a 10-minute walk every day to help aid this medication you're paying to do? How much does it stink to just keep feeding your body junk that it doesn't want, it doesn't need, and it isn't liking, all because you aren't willing to adjust with the taste buds that are changing in your body? These are things you really need to think about before you start a GLP-1 medication. Am I willing to make the lifestyle changes? Am I willing to commit to being consistent every day in what I eat, drink, and do? Am I willing to pay for it? Am I willing to be open and honest and raw with my medical team and myself about where I'm at in my healthy living journey? And am I willing to get through the side effects that I might have when I first start? If you've answered yes, then I highly encourage you to reach out to your medical professional and see if this is an option for you. If you've answered no or I'm not sure, then maybe you still need to hold off and see what else you need to do before you take that leap, because it is a leap and it is going to be a change that you're going to have to be willing to make. But I want to encourage you that there are tools and options out there to help you on your weight loss journey. You do not have to suffer in inflammation, in bloating, in pain, in feeling overwhelmed at trying to lose weight by yourself. And anybody that tells you, oh, that's an easy way out, you're a scapegoat, is a liar. They have not walked through this journey with you or been on that side of it. And let me tell you, as someone who has walked through being my heaviest and being my thinnest and everything in between, on top of autoimmune diseases, this has been the best tool that I have found. And I have tried every big diet out there. I have tried every weight loss supplement that there is known to mankind that is over the counter. Your girl has tried. This, being on a GLP-1 medication that I take by injection once a week, has been the only thing, truly the only thing that has helped without giving me a racing heart, where my heart hasn't been impacted, that has helped me get off of my diabetic medication and has finally let me go back to lifting with just muscle fatigue and not joint pain and inflammation triggering my lupus to flare up and go crazy. It is the only tool that has helped me be successful in losing weight that is staying off and the scale still going in the right direction. It's truly giving me my life back to live life abundantly, which is the prayer that I've had. And I'll be honest, it honestly took me being honest with myself, with God, and with my providers. Because had I not, I would still be the same girl from 2023 that was crying in her room because every part of my body just ached. And who would be crying when she had to buy again another size because nothing fit. There is hope, my friend. There is hope. And while GLP-1 medications might not be for everybody, there are other tools and options out there, so don't fight this battle alone. Just remember, you can do all things through Christ who has given you strength. And you've been called to take care of this body and this vessel so you can be a disciple of His. So use it well and use it wisely so you can live life abundantly into the fullest and continue to pour into the community around you. Now, if you liked this video, please be sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on those post notifications. And let's connect over on social so we can continue building the community that educates and empowers each other every single day. I love you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.